Let's talk Champions Cup round 4 then, the final round of pool games, the seedings for the knockout stage, and which teams are going to get there is going to be decided over the next couple of days. And there's some pretty meaty matchups. I'll go through, give you my predictions of the games, and more importantly, have a look at how that's going to change the picture moving into the playoffs. I've had some issues with the pool stages. I still do when it comes to this competition, but there is no doubt when you come to knockout rugby, this competition gets lots and lots of fun. So hopefully you'll be able to see that. That is the current ranking of all of the teams from each pool, the 4 pool leaders, the 4 pool second place, third place, fourth place, fifth place, sixth place, ranked by points and points difference. And what you can see is there are 7 teams that before this weekend even kicks off have already qualified for the knockout stages, whatever happens. They haven't guaranteed that their seeding is the case. And there's one team, the Bulls, that are already eliminated from the competition. They cannot progress to the knockout stages, whatever their result. But for the rest of it, it's a movable feast. And I'll go through pool by pool. It gets really, really interesting. Remember, the top 8 teams, so the first and second place in each pool, will get a home round of 16 tie. And the third and fourth place in each pool will be travelling away on the road. And the seedings carry right through to the semi-finals. The 5th place teams will go to the Challenge Cup. 6th place teams, see you later. Your Champions Cup season is done. So that is the picture at the moment. I'll come back to that in a minute. But here is what that currently, this is the current picture, what the round of 16 will look like, and some really, really interesting ties. I mean, you look at this side of the pool, this side of the draw, sorry, and Bordeaux and Toulouse in the same pool. Both have won all their games so far, and I expect they'll finish the pool stages unbeaten. Look on a collision course for a semi-final, an all-French affair potentially. I know the Sharks and Quins and Saints or Castres, Munster, Leicester will have something to say about that, but those 2 French giants are the best teams on that side of the draw. Over here, Leinster and Glasgow on a collision course, but Toulon have looked very good. This looks like a tough side. La Rochelle and Saracens, so much pedigree. If that's how it ends up, this is how the picture currently is. Some amazing matchups for the round of 16 and quarterfinals. But this picture is going to change based on the results that we get this weekend. So I thought I'd go through pool by pool and just have a look at the games and the results. Yeah, just to highlight, Bordeaux, Toulouse, Leinster look like the front runners. Toulon and Glasgow in a quarter-final would be epic. We've already had that game in the pool stages, and Glasgow didn't lose by a lot, and they rested a few key men, so that could be a dynamite game. Pool 1, this is how it currently looks. This is the situation. Bordeaux are top by virtue of the fact that Toulouse did not pick up a bonus point when they were away at the Sharks last week. Again, this is one of the misgivings I have about the pool stage, because really, you could argue Toulouse are only not going to be the top seed because they had to travel away to South Africa, whereas Bordeaux don't. And they welcome the Sharks to Southwest France this weekend. As for the results I'm expecting, 3 teams in this pool have already qualified, and that is significant because Leicester Tigers going to Stade Toulousain. I haven't seen the team. It hasn't been announced yet, but my guess would be with big Premiership games ahead, they may just rotate quite a lot and accept we've already qualified. We can't get ousted out of 3rd place. We're unlikely to move up to 2nd or 1st place. So let's just dial it in. I think that might be what Leicester do. But the weekend starts with Ulster against Exeter, which is truthfully a playoff for the Challenge Cup. Neither team, whoever wins, is going to overcome the points difference, you wouldn't think, unless the Sharks get absolutely spanked by Bordeaux, which could well happen, and Ulster do a job on Exeter, then I don't think that points difference is going to be overcome. So it's realistically, this is a shootout for the Challenge Cup spot, which I'm going for Ulster to get by 9 points. Exeter haven't picked Henry Slade. I don't know if that's an injury or whatever, so another key man for them in a team that isn't firing. So I'll go Ulster by 9. Sharks are going to get pumped by Bordeaux. But you see, Bordeaux only need 5 points to top the pool. So I think there might be a thing where Bordeaux get the 4 tries, maybe get 20, 30 points ahead, and then take their foot off the gas a little bit. So I'm going to go Bordeaux by 32 points. And I'm going to say Toulouse for the same reason. Leicester, I'm expecting to make quite a few changes. Six Nations coming up. They've got a big Premiership game next week. I mean, hopefully they don't. Hopefully Leicester go completely as strong as they can. But I'm just guessing at this stage. I haven't seen the teams. So without having seen the teams, I'm going to guess Toulouse by 22. Again, Toulouse, once they've got the game won, know that they can bring their guys off because they've done what they can. I suppose points difference could become a factor. We'll get onto that. So if those results happen, Ulster by 9, Bordeaux by 32, Toulouse by 22, then the pool would finish like that, with Sharks taking that 4th spot in the and a progression to the knockout stages, Ulster getting into the Challenge Cup. There we go. That's Pool 1. Pool 2. Now this one is properly up in the air. So Leinster have a home game against Bath, which, let me deal with that one first, because I think Leinster are going to get the full 5 points against Bath, and I think they'll win by 16 points. Bath are very, very good. Leinster at home, when their players are just getting back fit and ready to prove themselves for international duty, this is big for them. So their attack hasn't been as fluent as it normally is, but they're one of the class teams, and I think they're going to show it. So Bath with the full 5 points, they're going to beat Bath by 16, is my guess, meaning top spot is sewn up by Leinster. As for the rest of it, bun fight, absolute bun fight. Clermont versus Bristol Bears. Bristol Bears can still qualify, can qualify higher up. Benetton plays Stade Rochelet. La Rochelle have to go to Italy, and both of those teams, it's a bit of a shootout. I'm going to say La Rochelle will edge it by 8 points and get the full get 4 tries as well. So the full 5 points. And I'm going to say Clermont will beat Bristol Bears by 11 points. And again, get the full 5 points, because they need every point counts, which would, if that happens, again, tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. If that happens, this is what the Pool 2 would finish like. Benetton will get edged out. Bath will get nudged down to 4th. Clermont leapfrogging into 3rd place, and Bristol Bears with no more European rugby to play. Pool 3. I mean, it gets even tighter in Pool 3. Saints have qualified, but 1 to 4th is where they could end up landing, depending on how results go. So Bulls Bulls v Stade Francais. It's probably the game, unless you're a Bulls or Stade Francais fan, it's the game that least people care about this weekend, because there is almost nothing on that one. The Bulls cannot qualify. I suppose, technically speaking, if they get a big win over Stade Francais, they could sneak into the Challenge Cup. But then the way Bulls have approached the Champions Cup, do they want that? Do they want to play in knockout rugby? I don't know. It seems like they've put their eggs in the URC basket, and they're not bothered at all about the Champions Cup. And therefore, I'm just going to pluck a prediction out of the air for that one. I'm going to say the Bulls win, because Stade Francais are going to think, you know what, we're happy where we are. I haven't seen the squad that Stade Francais have taken to South Africa, but I'm going to say the Bulls win and Stade Francais give up. I'm just going to say both teams don't care. So there we go. They're both focused on their league. So I'll go for a Bulls win. Saracens, I'm going to say they win by 14 points over Castres with the full 5 points. Castres very good at home, not so good away. And Saints versus Munster, one of the best games of the weekend. This is going to be so good. I'm going to say the home side win by 4 points in a very tight affair. I think Munster will get the losing bonus point. Even though Saints are really good at attack, I'm going to predict that Munster's defence is going to be tight, and Saints won't get the 4 tries. Haven't seen the weather, actually, to be fair. That could make a difference. But there we go. Anyway, those are some predictions. And if that were to pan out, Saracens would get top on points difference from Northampton. Munster, again, so if Northampton, they are very good at attack. If they get the 4 tries, that puts them in a much better position. Munster could still finish top, but I've got them landing 3rd, with Castres 4th, and Stade Francais and the Bulls. Close, but one of them is going to get into the Challenge Cup. one of them. Well, Stade Francais could again. Stade Francais could end up getting in. I guess I haven't seen the teams. I don't know, but it's just going to be fascinating to watch, especially Northampton, Munster in that pool. And the absolute plum tie in this one is Harlequins against Glasgow in Pool 4. Glasgow, who are trying to chase down Toulon, who are away to Sale Sharks. Now, that's a tricky fixture for Toulon. Sale Sharks at home are very good. And Sale Sharks still could qualify, and I think are going to go for it in front of their home crowd, full bore. It's a shorter Premiership season now with only 10 teams, so there is the space in the calendar. You don't need as deep a squad as you used to need to. But do Sale Sharks have enough? I think Toulon, Baptiste Saran and all are going to come and just edge Sale in that one. But that's going to be a fun game to watch. I'll say Toulon by 10 and to get the 4 tries. Glasgow away to Harlequins. I'm actually going to be working on this game on Premier Sports, so keep an eye out for my my wrist and voice asking the questions. What a belter of a match. Absolutely awesome. And Quins have it on the line. Glasgow have it on the line. Seedings are so important for the knockout stages. I'm going to say Warriors by 5. If you remember the round of 16 last year, it was Harlequins at home to Glasgow. Glasgow were ahead. Harlequins pegged them back, and then Glasgow managed to get a late win. I think it was 23-22. Absolute belter. So I cannot wait for that game. I'm going to say Quins get 2 points in a high-scoring losing defeat where they only lose by 5 points. So Quins get 2 points. Glasgow get the full 5. And I think Racing edge past Stormers. I think Stormers have brought a decent squad because they've got a URC game up in Europe next week. So that could change the picture a little bit. But I'm going to say Racing edge past them by 6 points and get the full 5. Which, if those predictions pan out, that's what the pool would look like. Racing up to 3rd. Oh, I don't know. I might have to revise that prediction. Quins with a losing bonus point, getting 4th. Stormers Challenge Cup. Sharks are out. That's a fun pool. And it gets even more fun when you get to the knockout stages, because if those predictions all happen, and they won't, will they? Let's be honest. But if they happened, then this is what the round of 16 will look like. And I mean, one of the problems with the pool format is it makes it more likely that you're going to get repeat fixtures from the pool stages in the knockout stages. We do have a couple of them. If my predictions turn out to be true, then you do have Bordeaux against the Sharks again, and you have Saracens against Castres again. We've seen that before. There's also 2 same country fixtures, which you see regularly in the Premiership or the top 14 as it is, with Toulouse against Racing 92 and Northampton Saints against Leicester Tigers. So basically, this side of the pool is all seen it before or same country. This side is fresh and new and quite exciting. Leinster against Quins, La Rochelle against Munster, Toulon against Bath, Glasgow against Claremont. That is a very fun pool. Now, again, you can't really look past, on that side of the pool, Toulouse and Bordeaux making it to a semi-final. And again, Glasgow-Toulon in the quarterfinals could be absolute dynamite. And Leinster-La Rochelle or Leinster-Munster, sorry, Quins, I'm assuming Leinster will get to the quarterfinals. Leinster-Munster or Leinster-La Rochelle, you've got a really fun game, whichever way it goes there. Northampton Saints away in Bordeaux could do it like Quins did it last year. Saracens, home to Toulouse. They could do it with home advantage. Unlikely, but maybe. Toulon Glasgow looks fun. And again, I'm getting ahead of myself because these aren't the actual matches. We're going to find out what the matches are. But yeah, Toulouse, Bordeaux, Leinster's. It looks to be going that way, doesn't it? That is round 4 of the Champions Cup. I'm getting quite excited about it now. I do think there are issues with the pool stages. I do think that you could make it a much better competition by actually getting rid of the round of 16 and cutting the number of teams. I would have 16 teams and I would have 8 in a quarterfinal and go from there. 4 pools of 4, but there's no silver bullet. So that's where we are. There's been some issues up to this point. I think now the Champions Cup gets lots and lots of fun. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Give the video a thumbs up, hit subscribe, leave your comments down below. Let me know if you disagree with any of the predictions. We'll wait for team news because that will change things again. But I'll see you on the next one.